Hello gamers and welcome back to the channel. Did you ever want to just chill out after work, open a beer and play a comfortable tank while also dishing out 10,000 damage in less than 4 minutes? So today we will look at the most comfortable and enjoyable tier 10 heavy, the Super Conqueror. Enjoy. So the way I played this tank was with HP, Rammer and Bond Turbo. You can also use a normal turbo and you can put the secondary field modification slot here and you can place it in there in case you don't have the Bond Turbo. I also ran Coffee, I had Brothers in Arms Recon for driving snapshot and situational awareness, and also had Rammer on that. Now you can already see that this tank, what makes this tank so comfortable to play is the sheer amount of DPM it has. You almost have 3.7k DPM in a tier 10 heavy tank with really good accuracy, 0.3. You can also improve this with the field modifications to 0.29, which is absolutely amazing. And you also have really good aiming time, which is 1.8. Basically, you have a laser gun with really good soft stats. Another great thing about this tank is the shells are really good. It is a 259 AP pen, but it also has a really good and fast APCR shot, which is really usable when you're sniping at long distances. Top speed is improved up to 40 kilometers an hour. Now, a tank this size and this armored is very nice with that top speed, because otherwise it would feel really sluggish. And it actually, I think this is what makes the tank better than the Chieftain in randoms, because the fact that you almost have the same speed as a Chieftain and you can get from point A to point B in a quick session is very nice actually. You can see that the HP power is very nice, 1200 with Bond Turbo. It's gonna be a little bit less with the normal turbo if you place it in the secondary slot, but it's gonna be alright. Now terrain resistance wise, this is also gonna go a little bit down because of the field modifications. It's gonna get better. 10 degrees of gun depression. Now most of you already are familiar with this tank, I suppose, but 10 degrees of gun depression is still so good. You will be able to peek any kind of terrain and just dish damage to your enemies. Now let's talk a little bit about the HP of this tank. You're gonna have around 2.7 thousand HP, which is really good because you have lots of DPM to protect yourself. And I think this is the best tank actually to stay alone and win a fight when you are against multiple opponents, simply because you can just finish enemy after enemy with that fast DPM, but you will see that in the upcoming replays. The view range is 452, which is not bad, it's quite okay. You can already spot like light tanks that are like close. You won't need to like go 50 meters in front of them to see them. It's just enough, okay? Let's talk about the armor of this tank. Upper blade is absolutely invincible against heat shells. Nobody really pens you here anyway. The lower blade is quite weak, as you will see that. There are some weak spots in the mantlet here that can be penned with the good placement of APCR and heat shells. And also the cupola is quite pennable with heat shells. Now against AP and APCR, the cupola is actually quite good, as you can see. I switched to APCR and I have full ricochet over this. Now if I a little bit go up, then you can already pen it, but from this angle, the normal angle that you'll be facing the S-Conk from, it is completely invincible. Now side scripting wise, I love the tank because it has really thick side skirts and tracks, and I can really block those shots when you try to side script with this tank, and you can even bait people shooting your tracks. And if you use HP, as you may know, your HP of the tracks go up, and the enemy will need 2 shots to track you. Now if you repair, they will need 2 shots again to track you. So I think this is why this tank is so versatile, and the survivability of this tank is absolutely exceptional. And I think this is the second reason why it's better than the Chieftain, simply because it's much easier to side script with it. So these are my stats on the Super Conk on my new account, and I played 75 games. I averaged 5.2k DPG, and I actually marked the tank under 75 games. So now I'll show you quickly the field modifications that you will need for the tank. So let's go to tech tree first, select the conk, click on it, field mods. Alright, so the way I played the conk was I picked left one here because of the terrain resistance buff, which is really good because when you're playing a heavy tank and you're playing like on non-hard terrain, open maps like Steps, Prohorovka, you name it, left for sure. Here, I would definitely pick the aiming circle size. Once again, it reduces the dispersion, which is huge. Out of these two, I wouldn't really take any of them, to be fair. You can take one of them, but I don't like... This one reduces view range, and you're not going to be using vents if you play with my setup, so your view range is already quite low. And this one reduces like the stun duration as well. This one increases view range, but it increases stun duration. It's your choice, but I didn't really pick any of them. Now here on the power output tuning, I picked the left one for the reverse speed. Now reverse speed on heavy tanks is absolutely huge. You'll want to disengage quite fast when the enemy tanks push you and they are overmatching. It's also really nice when you make an aggressive peak, and that +2 is actually quite a lot. When you couple that with turbo, you're gonna have quite a healthy reverse speed with that. On the 8th field modification, I will probably take the right one here for the extra dispersion. Since you're not running vert stabs, the extra dispersion comes in very, very handy for your gun handling. Just a little bit improving it now. Protection of the crew from injury is not that important. Stun duration, it's minimal. And the HE shell and ramming damage are completely like messed up how the calculation is done in the game. So I would not recommend taking the left one here for sure. So just go for the right one. Also here, as I mentioned, you'll want to have the mobility slot, this one, assigned, and then you will put the turbo into that, and this way you will have the secondary benefits of the turbo, boosting it up to 10 engine power percentage. So, are you guys ready for absolute carnage? Are you sure? Let's go. So guys, in this replay, you will see some Tundra gameplay with the Conqueror. And let's just talk about why this tank is better than the Chieftain, in my opinion. Now, first of all, it has much more HP. Second of all, it has a much better armor layout. Now, the upper plate is impenetrable. The turret, I think, is a little bit worse, of course. But then again, it's also better because of the shape. And third, when you have turbo and the second slot, you're almost as fast as a basic Chieftain. Now, if you couple that with a much better gun, more DPM, better aiming accuracy, better aiming time, much better soft stats, it's just gonna be absolutely incredible. And now you can already see that the farm has commenced. It's a very, very good matchup here. We have lots of juicy targets in front of us, and you can just see how powerful this tank is, man. We are hitting the weak spots there because the gun is very, very good for that. We get the tracking shot on the T30, man. We have to get ready to farm this Conqueror as well. I get the tracking shot on him too. First of all, we have to remove the VZ55 and the Super Conk from the match out here. The Conk is the most important because he can overpeak us, and the VZ is also the secondary most important target here. You can see that the DPM is absolutely crazy. I have already done 4,000 damage. 4,000 damage in less than 2.5 seconds. Like, it's just insane. Finding those little weak spots there. Luckily, they don't overpeak us here, so this is quite a lucky scenario because, I mean, look at that. You have this tiny weak spot on T30 and we still hit that. It's just incredible, honestly. I think also a very important aspect why this tank is better than the Chieftain in randoms, why it's more comfortable than the Chieftain in randoms, is because people are jealous when they see a Chieftain, right? People can't get it anymore. They become angry and they want to take it out. And also they know that since even though you're using anonymizer and stuff, they will not see your nickname, they will not see your stats in case they're running XVM, they will not see your clan. But because of the fact that you're playing a Chieftain, it already tells them that you are a good player, so they want to take you out as fast as possible. Now, look at the time. 3 minutes, 20 seconds, up to 7k damage, constant farm. What other tank could you have done this with? What other tank, I'm asking ladies and gentlemen, a tier tank could you have done this with? E5, not really. You have a gigantic cupola which is really easy to hit. IS7, not really. It's really easy to overpeak that tank, and it doesn't work as well as this tank because of the lack of gun depression and the lack of complete gun handling. Now look, we are less than 4 minutes in, remove 3 tanks, and we are already up to almost 9,000 damage. And there you go, 9,000 damage in 4 minutes, guys. Sorry, but this is just crazy. Now this replay will be a little bit more spicy than the first one. We are playing Mountain Pass in, once again, a very healthy scenario. They have a lot of tanks. Now Mountain Pass, there is a big problem. When you are playing a heavy tank, you can't really go on the 1-2 line, because when you simply win the flank, you cannot push anymore after that, because of these positions they have in the back here. Now the most important factor here is to make your way up to here, this position, to B6, if you're having a heavy tank. But you always have to watch out for people like the Bedchat and the VZ. Now you can see the VZ is already YOLOing in. You have to eliminate him before you actually make your way up. And also the Bedchat is really annoying there, because he constantly has side shots on your tanks here. So let's see how we solve this situation. Well, first of all, we have to take out the VZ here. This is the most important tank here. My turret is not moving in this replay for some reason, but you guys will get the gist of it. Anyway, you can see that this gun is really good. Very fast loading. I'm trying to bounce this shot to VZ. He will probably connect this one, but we get the second tracking shot on him, which is huge. We will take him down in a millisecond over here. Already done 1.6k damage, and we are about to take the VZ down. Now the Bedchat is getting overpushed on the top side, which is really good for us. Hopefully they'll push him out fully, and then in that case, when that happens, we'll be able to make our way towards the E100 and the E75. Now I'm gonna speed this up a little bit. The reason I was doing this is I tried to get the Bedchat's attention in case he would overpeak us, and in case we would be able to farm him. Now let's see if this gun is really up to its famousness. And we actually connect the E100 right there. It's great. Mr. Bedchat peaks. We can't find a shot there. E75 also peaks there. We don't find the shot on the E100 right there as well. It's weird because for some reason, as I said, my turret does not move in the replay. I have never had that issue. But I mean, you guys will understand anyway. You guys will see where I'm aiming and stuff. So you can see that the Eskong's gold pen is enough to get that through that thick E100 turret. And here, with the fast reload, we have to find a tracking shot on E75 now. Unfortunately, he's running HP, which means he's having more, and the E100 too, they have more track HP, which means that you will need 2 shots into their tracks before you can fully track them. Now let's see if the E100 will remain there. He uses repair kit. Now again, his track HP is restored. In this case, I will have to just farm him and just DPM him down as much as I can. I'm also trying to save my HP here as much, because the game is very close. If you take a careful look at the southern part of the map, you can see that the match is very close, and we will need all our HP, so I'm gonna have to be playing really carefully here. That's a really unlucky bounce, actually. That was a very low roll, and we can connect that shot. That's very nice. It's quite funny that my turret doesn't turn, but you guys can see my reticles, so just imagine my turret is moving, basically. And we find the E75 there as well. E-Honda shot us for some reason, even though he could have shot the 6TP or the E75. I guess he did not like me farming him from full HP. But we're already up to 5.5k damage, and there is 15,000 HP remaining enemy team. Now, can we turn this game around? Let's see. The bridge is holding quite strong. We also have the TNH in the base, covering that part of the map. And now we will have to remove the AML2 and the T30 from the matchup. And the TP can also be quite dangerous because he has a clip. So let's see and try to pick this T30 first. We connect the first one, great. We spot the E50M. Now I'm gonna have to hide here because, as I said, I wanna save my HP fully. We bounce this shot there, and let's see if we can find this cupola right there. No, we don't, but in the meantime, the TP and the AML2 both push up. We're gonna have to take both of them out because both of them are autoloaders, and we have to take them out fast, because if you don't take them out fast, then the T30 and the E50M will make their way fast to us. Now, luckily, we could pick the AML2 up, and the TVP does not seem to be running away, which is quite odd. He would have the chance here, but because our DPM is so good, it's so good, we just completely annihilate him. And also, you see the top speed is also very healthy, coupled with the turbo downhill when you reach that. And we take a shot from the D50M, unluckily there, but the team seemed to be falling on the other sides of the map, and I was quite concerned about the T-30 at this point. Now I was thinking, okay, the T-30 has two choices. One, he will come back, or he will stay there. Now we get the kill on the 260, very important kill. He had a little bit of a lack of awareness there. We cannot quite see the Conqueror though, but I was thinking, where is this T-30? He must be there, right? He must be in front of us. There is no way he made it back, and I should have spotted him, right? I should have proxied him. I should have, if he, it must be a really unlucky timing is if he's behind me. Now let's see if we can find the shot. We find the shot on the conch. Nice, very nice. And I still can't find the T-30 now. Could he have crossed the bridge? I am not completely sure what happened here. But we have 11 shells left, 2 headshots. I load my headshot, looking for the waffle. And where is the waffle? There is the waffle. He gets spotted. He's aiming at us. Quick shot into him. 500 damage. And I'm still very concerned. Is T-30 behind me? Actually, we spot him behind us. We get the shot into him there with my turret looking from the front. Sorry once again about that. But the enemy is capping and there's only 20 seconds for me to get there. Now I had to aim at this T-30. We get the second shot in through the mantlet, a weak spot off there if you're shooting gold. And he doesn't even shoot us. Now I tried finishing him here. I tried finishing him here because I kind of had to finish him. Otherwise, even if I reset, the enemy TNH is on full HP, so I need time to kill them, right? If I don't kill the T-30, he'll just come behind me and I'll be in a three-way crossfire. But the enemy just caps here. They don't want to play, they just cap here. Now, there is 4k HP in the enemy team. Imagine if we could farm all that 4k. Now, we only have 6 shots, so that's not possible. We could probably not have won the game, but just once again, guys, the sheer amount of DPM, the firepower, the armor of this tank, it's huge. And this is why I truly think this tank, 1, better than the Chieftain, 2, it's more enjoyable, and 3, you can do much more damage in this tank. So, thank you guys for watching. By the way, I am live streaming on Twitch at twitch.tv/kajzoo. Also, write me in the comments what tank do you want a video about. The most liked comment will decide next week's tank. Enjoy your day and see you soon.